right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. We will be taking questions tonight. If you guys want to go ahead and start leaving some comments, we'll get to them shortly. We're about to be joined by Mr. Billy Davidson.
Put my computer on vibrate.
All right.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's up? Who's winning the game? Anyone's checked in on the score? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Tonight we're going to be talking about starting a pressure washing business. You may already be in a pressure washing business. You may, like us, at 27 years into it, but we still are learning more things as we go along. You know, it's always an evolving education in the pressure washing business. For one thing, marketing changes often. You know, when I first started, I tell guys all the time there was no such thing as YouTube, as we watching each other on it now. There was no such thing as Windows, iMacs, iPhones, none of that. So our marketing was much different in the early 90s than it is in the year 2021. So we always learning about new marketing tactics, and oftentimes the equipment's changing as well. I got something I brought here with me. I'm going to show you a little later in the broadcast how the equipment changes. So our education is always ongoing. Apex has been doing it several years. I'm sure he's learning on just about every other job or so, picking up something new. So whether you're starting a pressure washing business or you've been in it for a while, we definitely welcome you aboard, and we're going to be talking about it. So if we got some new guys that are just starting in the pressure washing business, if y'all want to drop a question or comment in the box below, we'll be reading those as well. So Apex, I hear you've been really busy doing some roof cleaning with us and on your own. How's that been going?
Oh, it's been an absolute treat, man. I'm not worried about my bills.
Not worried about the bills. It's always easier to pay the bills and work hard than not pay the bills and be sitting at home, right?
Oh, dude, you said it. Like, just not having that anxiety, you know, not having to worry about it, being able to put money away. That's the life-changing part of all this. Like, I can't even.
A little bit of freedom to go with it, huh?
Absolutely, financial freedom. It's just when you have consistent money coming in, and the only thing you have to do is just put in the effort. That's where you want to be at. That's optimal.
It's easier to work hard than to starve, and I've been on both ends of those spectrums, like in a serious way. So, we got any comments coming in or anything popping up? Or
apparently Tampa is winning right now.
Tampa, oh my goodness.
Yes.
Brady again, huh?
Okay, and we've got a guy that pressure washes. Good evening from the frigid north.
Hey, ain't that all of us? We're a guy that pressure washes.
I'm a guy that pressure washes.
Frigid North, how cold does it, or where are you from, and how cold is it there? I'd love to hear.
All right, we've got Cincinnati Soft Wash. He says, good evening, Apex and Billy. Good evening, Cincinnati.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
And Reggie Bryce, he says, what's up, guys? Always enjoy and appreciate the great content.
Mr. Reggie.
Hell yeah. All right, Daddy182 says, did my first driveway wash last week.
Oh, sweet. How did it
Led
go?
itself into a roof wash and a concrete paint and ceiling. Yeah, exclamation mark.
That ain't bad.
Thanks
That's
for your
pretty
videos,
good.
Billy, Apex, and all right. Yes, sir.
That's good deal. I know we got to post a comment into the chat box from our end. Do you still have that comment?
Yeah, I have it. I can post it right
Yeah,
now.
he's going to post a comment. We have a promotional code. Guys, if any of y'all need any of our pressure washing courses on our resource page, I just seen it pop up. You click on that, use the promotional code Billy25. There's no space. I think it saves you 25%, which is a significant amount that the web team has implemented that. It's a limited time only, but it's only for the pressure washing courses, not the All Pro Parking Lot Striper course. We actually have another promotional code for that. You'd have to get in touch with me directly for that promotional code, and most of y'all know my number. So looks like we got a few guys in here watching. Do we have any predictions on the game from you, Apex?
Oh man, I don't know the first thing about football and all that.
I think Tampa takes it. It's just my guess, you know.
Yeah.
Once the Saints were out of it, I was kind of out, I will watch the Super Bowl, at times, but usually I watch the reruns, is what I like to do.
Yeah, we've got, me as well. I just like, the atmosphere of it, going to a friend's house that everybody goes to, and they've got the game on, they've got meat on the barbecue. It's just
like a UFC fight, huh?
Yeah, it's a good time.
One time Apex went to a barbecue and he was the meat.
And
they was about to grill him.
All right, so a guy that pressure washes, it turns out it's 11 degrees in Ohio.
Oh my God, it's 11 degrees in Ohio.
11 degrees.
It's tough to do anything there. I guess we creeping a little bit on our tripod. Huh? Yeah, 11 degrees is that's just forget about it at that point. The only time well, you know what? I worked in Oklahoma some years back, and I think it was around 11, 12, 13 degrees in the middle of winter, but we were inside of a warehouse, and that's definitely something you could do. I mean, there's pressure washing that needs to be done inside of a warehouse. Matter of fact, we do work for Walmart, and we're not allowed to put it on YouTube too often, but inside their distribution center, sometimes inside the freezers even, so that can be done inside of those warehouses. Car dealerships is really good to hit up in the wintertime, because they have the big shops where they bring in all the automobiles to be cleaned, and striping can be done in there. We've done a ton of striping inside of automobile repair shops and stuff. All that needs to be washed and striped periodically. A lot of times what we're trying to do is push those customers into the winter. So if they are scheduled around late September, early October, a lot of times we'll try to push them back a couple weeks into November, even try to push them into the Thanksgiving holidays when they have a few days off there. And what that does, it kind of stacks our winter months, especially going into winter. And I've always found that trick to be very useful. Now, you couldn't do something out of July, pushing it that far. But if it's right in there, September, October, November, pushing into early December, that way you have something going on through the winter time. Yeah. And it always seemed to me like you get one job, more jobs come in. I don't know if it's something with the universe or whatever, but like you'll be out of work for a couple of days, then one job will come in, and all of a sudden you get swamped with 3 or 4 more. So I always like to push stuff into the winter, especially inside work, dock work, loading docks. We've done tons of loading docks too. All of that needs to be pressure washed. There's stripes on the ground where the forklifts run. A lot of guys probably seen that already. So it's a good idea to be going after some of that stuff.
Absolutely. Keep that schedule padded out, and that way it's not so sporadic all at once. You can keep it leveled out. I like that. Okay, so we've got a pretty interesting one here. FPPL soft wash and pressure washing. He says, hey guys, have you all tried removing Lycan from a roof shingle? What's the trick to easily remove it? Is it different from moss?
Yes, it is. Well, the moss and Lycan's kind of the same thing. You're not removing it is what you're not going to do. You're not going to get up there mechanically and scrape it off or remove it. Now, what you can do, what you are allowed to do very tenderly is before you treat it, if the moss or the Lycan has pine straw and leaves trapped in it, in the growth, obviously you'll see dead leaves on top of moss that's growing. You're allowed to blow that out if you can. And the only reason why you want to do that is so you can get your SH down to the moss. But that goes for the regular roof cleaning. Let's say, Apex, we got a shingle roof to clean, and it's got pine straw in the valleys or a bunch of leaves and sticks. That roof has to be debrided first. That moss will have to be debrided first. You will want to treat it with a bare minimum of 6% SH, sodium hypochlorite. Oftentimes I'll go a little stronger than that, 7, 8, 9%. I have really put some powerful solution on some moss, and you'll know when it's dead, it needs to all change color. So usually it turns into a white or a weird looking pale yellow color. At that point, you need to let your customer know, even before you step foot on the job, you're not taking that stuff down that day, that you're going to kill it. You're going to come back in a couple weeks. So now we're talking about more money per square foot than if it was a regular roof wash. So now you are coming back that second time with SH on board, ready to work, and whatever's left, you're going to have to retreat it. And you may have to have 2 or 3 of those treatments before you get it all off. The last thing, Apex, you want to do is take a rake up there and scratch it off. I mean, we had a customer that they were doing that to their house, and So we stopped them in the process of it. So if that answers your question, you're going to treat it with a sodium hypochlorite solution, most likely multiple times, and that will take a while for it to fall off. Now, I know you may have a customer in occasions where they want to take pictures of the house because of real estate stuff, and it's just not going to happen. I mean, if you get up there and mechanically remove it, you're doing a lot of damage to those shingles. Now, I have seen where they would take those roofs like that were really bad. They needed to take the pictures right away, and they would take it to a Photoshop guy, and he would just Photoshop it in, basically clone in the roof. Because we know it's gonna look good, it's just they needed to look good today. So, best bet, if you have a customer selling a house, you need to tell them they need to jump on that right away, because it does take a little bit of time for that roof to clear up and fall off.
Absolutely. And you have to know how to charge appropriately for all of that increased severity and complexity, especially if they live far away.
Yeah, and just think about it. You're going to go over there the second time. You're going to have to show up, pre-wet everything. If you're going to hit things with SH, talk to the customer, move the dog's bowl, all of this crazy stuff again. So these roofs, sometimes with the moss on it, could go into multiple thousands of dollars. I've charged even $2,500, $2,600 for about a 2,000 square foot roof, but it was much cheaper than spending 10 grand on a new roof, and then the time frame to get the new roof. They trying to sell the house, or they having a party come. The roof didn't need to be replaced, you just need the moss cleaned off of it. So you have to charge for those repeat trips back out there, if you kind of see what I'm saying, because that can be time consuming.
Yeah, and it's always quicker to clean a roof than replace a roof. And
yeah, a lot less messier too. All the nails in the yard, huh?
Yeah, and as a customer looking at a house, you're gonna want a house with a clean roof. That way it doesn't have any questions come into mind like, oh man, am I gonna have to replace this roof? Like, you don't want to have to deal with that as a customer.
I was gonna say something real quick before we move on to the next question, guys. I was guilty of this. You may be guilty of it. Apex, I know, is guilty of it as we speak. You need to have some print material in your truck for the shingle roof cleaning. The customer really needs to be able to hold something with your company's name on it, your information before and after pictures, the process that you use, maybe a website or a web link on it. The QR codes are getting real popular now. You can have a QR code that goes straight to your website, or if you have a YouTube channel where you can put even an unlisted video QR code on that brochure, if you will, or postcard. That way they can scan it. It goes straight to your YouTube video that's unlisted or public, however you want to do it. Shows you the process where you're speaking directly to the customer. Is a big upsell. I mean, that closes so many more deals for us now that we have print material that leads people to a website or a YouTube channel. People are just like us. We're very visual. We want to taste, touch, smell, and see things. Someone can sit here and tell you something all day, but seeing it in person is what closes the deals. And I've already seen my closure rate get better by twice. So normally I was closing about 4 out of 10. Now I'm up around 7, almost 8 out of 10. So what does that mean? My prices get to go up. I'm closing way too many. I don't want to close no more than about 50 or 60%. So my prices are going up, and it's all about that print material. And it's cheap. I ordered 2,500 of them, I don't know, for a couple $100. So it paid for itself first job.
Yeah, it took us like 10 minutes to design.
Yeah, we just did it on iMac, and it was over with.
Got it, yeah. All right, so we got 41 people watching. We got 14 likes. We appreciate that, guys. We always appreciate the likes. Absolutely helps get these tips out to more people. So switching gears a bit here, we've got another comment from Aunt Sarah. Says, hi guys, is window cleaning just as profitable as house washes? I'm thinking more folks would pay for windows versus a house wash.
In certain areas, yeah, absolutely. Window cleaning along the East Coast is really big for whatever reason. Also, middle of the country. I know some guys out in Colorado, Utah, even Nevada. They do a lot. Arizona's a big window cleaning area. We don't do a ton of it here. Usually when we do window cleaning here, it's in conjunction with power washing building. Our mildew down here is ferocious, guys. We could wash a house and then 6 months later it's got mildew on it like it's never been touched. So that mildew attacks the windows too. So usually doing a house wash and a window wash, but just straight up window washing, where you go with your car dealerships, doctors' offices, hospitals, gyms are popping up everywhere, here in the last couple of years. So they have big windows and stuff. Yeah, go get you a good DI system. You got to do your research on that. There's a ton of them out there, just like power washers. You can get the wrong one, but get with someone. If you got a local power wash store in your area, let them go demo it. You're going to spend a couple grand on this stuff, so you need to see it working and then some training behind it. But I know a guy that does some window cleaning near us in New Orleans. He's like at 175 for like a 2,500 square foot house, and he's in and out in about 30 to 45 minutes, exterior only.
Oh, yeah.
Not a bad day. I mean, you can put 10 of them together. If you working with just one guy truck, maybe with a helper, if you did 10, 11 a day, that's a couple grand. Pay your helper a few $100s and move on, man. That's not bad, actually.
Yeah, and I really like his setup too. That I've actually got hands on with before.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's right. Gutter cleaning, the same thing as well.
Yeah, and okay, so we've got Cincinnati Soft Wash. He says, Billy, I still need to get with you about the course. I bought the old one, and you told me to contact you, and I got busy and forgot. Clayton is my name. Facebook, if you remember. Yeah,
I remember you. Yeah, just send me your email address, and we're going to try to get everybody from the old resource page logged into the new one. The new one is heads and shoulders above the old one. New technology that we use new login type of stuff. And y'all can communicate with us better through our resource page now. So just total upgrade. But yeah, Cincinnati, just send me a text. Y'all have my number. Maybe this afternoon or tomorrow. Actually, when we leave here, we're gonna go grab some dinner, and then we're going to do some quoting on some parking lot striping. So I'll be busy this afternoon. But yeah, text me sometimes tomorrow, and I'll get you straightened out.
All right, and we've got Perry Nesbitt. He says, good evening from Superior Clean Power Washing Services, LLC from South Carolina. How do you price apartment complexes?
Those are really a bit different, depending on how many stories they have, how many balconies you got to climb up on. Usually, you're going to be dealing with customers, all the little residents in and out. Usually that's much more than residential. Oftentimes I'll try to get 25, 30 cents per square foot under the roof. So a lot of new guys make that mistake, and they go out there and measure a wall. Let's say it's 28 by 30 high. They using that square footage, and then by 20 cents. That's not to do it. Under the roof, the total roof area. Usually your starting point's around 20 cents minimum, especially for us. License, insurance, and all that. But you may have to go up from there. So you're dealing with residential, dealing with staircases. You got to block off staircases. You got Mrs. Jones yelling at you that she smells bleach. So now you have to cover scent yourself really bad. I mean, you just got to be really, really cover scent a lot with that. Quick story, I did a Holiday Inn years ago. I'm not going to say where it was. Yeah. I had, that night, before it was done, I had 4 ambulances in the parking lot, people getting carted off, the general manager yelling at me, and this was all planned out before. I specifically told them we need to clear off this side of the hotel, turn off those AC units. Even though I was cover scenting, it drew it in there. And long story short, nobody was hurt, nobody was even injured. Some people were inconvenienced, but no more of that for me. If I'm gonna mess with a hotel, those residents have to be, or those temporary residents got to be out of that side of that hotel, the AC units off. And I instruct them they may have to use something like free breeze in each room whenever we're done. But even that being said, when you do an apartment complex, it's the same thing. That as soon as they smell that SH, I promise you're gonna have 15 people out in the parking lot coughing and sneezing. And some people exaggerate stuff, guys. So you got to watch that too. So apartment complexes, generally, I'm 10, 15, 20% higher than I am on commercial buildings. So that answers your question. Take total square foot, be safe times 30 cents per square foot. And then the balconies, we don't do any balconies. That's anything second story. I'm not about to climb over a balcony rail, and then they got flowers and sofas and chairs up there. So we don't do that, because then you climb over the second story balcony, they're gonna expect you to do the third story and the fourth story on up. So we do the lower balconies if we feel like it, but the second, third, and fourth balconies on most of these apartment complexes around here falls under housekeeping. So what that means is the resident's responsible for cleaning their own balcony. And then we make sure that they have all of their stuff taken in off that balcony. If they don't, we have to skip that area. And then we have in our contract, we could do 2 or 3 skips like that, but when you got 10 or 12, that's an additional charge for us to come back and clean around the balcony. So
yeah, and
it gets complicated. And if any of y'all ever have a huge apartment complex like that and y'all need my personal help on, you can always text me and we can set up a scheduled call, and some of the guys give us a few dollars for our time, but we could walk you through it.
Yeah, and just to really add to what you were just talking about, I was doing some apartment front faces with a guy down in.
I remember that.
We went down to the big city to do that, and let me tell you something. Doing even that first balcony, okay, we had to be super careful to get up there. That's just time, man. That's so much time.
The ladder, you can move the ladder 50 times a day. Years ago, I didn't know any better. I climbed on top of the balcony and grabbed the balcony like this, and I was up 28 feet, and it just come off in my hand, and just like, it just gets that panic, and it would have killed me if I'd have fell. So don't climb over balconies, guys. It's not worth it. It's not even industry standard. That's not an industry standard to climb over balconies. And this might sound absurd, but it's not industry standard for you to go wash a customer's house and change their motor oil. That doesn't go together. This does not go together. You do not climb over balconies. If there's access from the inside, maybe you'll take the time to do it. But as far as climbing over balconies at an apartment complex, you get yourself killed. Like, that's what can happen.
All right, so a lot of good information there, guys. We really appreciate the likes. We got 42 people watching, got 28 likes.
Appreciate it, guys.
And okay, so switching gears here, we've got Steady Flow Power Wash LLC. He says, or he or she, I don't know who.
Steady Flow.
Yeah, so adding graffiti removal to our business. What's y'all's opinion on that service?
It's a really good graffiti removal. You need to kind of search engine optimization for it. So you're going to have to put that on your Facebook business page. You need to add that to your Facebook personal page, and then also add some of that language into your Google My Business. And you're going to have to hammer away on it, and it takes a while for Google to pick it up, but you eventually start getting some of those graffiti removal calls. We get a few every now and then. The graffiti is not that bad around here, but when they do have graffiti, they usually call me. And now it's a big upsell, they need it done right away, so it could be twice as much as a normal service call. And another thing about putting it on Facebook, people, especially if you do get 1 or 2 graffiti removal jobs, you put those before and after pictures on it, and you keep just every now and then trickling on some of your fans on Facebook, and all of a sudden you start getting those calls. But in addition to graffiti removal, I would love to go do even a free graffiti removal job, like on a dumpster door at apartment complex. Because what does that do now? That gets me in with the general manager. I mean, they are hard to get in touch with already. So sometimes we'll do free graffiti removal, like on these city-owned buildings. Now, obviously, if it's like something bad, it's might be a charge for it. But if it's a little something on the wall, most graffiti's low. People generally are not getting on 40-foot ladders doing graffiti. So most of it's, eye level. You can just go over there and get it removed. Sometimes you can have your local newspaper come in and take a picture, publicity is awesome. And if you're doing it for the city, oftentimes you get to meet the mayor, so things, you start, talking to people that can make things happen for you.
Absolutely, that's amazing.
We used to do one last thing. We used to do free graffiti removal at schools in our areas, and I can't say how tens on top of tens of thousands of jobs I made off of doing one free graffiti removal.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it just feels good. You know, you're cleaning up the community, making it look nice. Like, you know, that's a win-win.
Should do that anyway. If you got some graffiti out there somewhere, within reason, if you can go over there 20, 30 minutes, take it off, take before and after pictures, put them on your Facebook, and, just exploit that opportunity.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got a guy that pressure washes. I love that name, man. I'm also a guy that pressure washes. Okay, so he says, adding roofs this year, nervous. Any advice on expediting through the growing pains? I found candidates for demos. Should I do them for free and create a portfolio?
Yeah, you can do some demos. Also, like Apex just posted that 25% off with that promo code. We do have a little roof cleaning. Well, it's 1 hour long. So if you want to go grab that while it's on sale, you can. If that will help you out a lot. If you haven't ever done one, you can watch a bunch of YouTube videos. But guys, I'm gonna tell you, most of these videos I've seen on YouTube, and it's not against the guys that's putting the videos out there, because we do the same thing. We shoot a video of a roof cleaning it. You only see 1/10 of what we really do. I mean, it's we can't record it all. Like the homeowner walks out, people walking up. We just can't record it all and explain it all. But if we can put it in a little training pod, and obviously we don't want our competitors to know exactly what we're charging too. So we put in a little training pod, put a little price on it, and then we sell it, to people that's not around here. So that's great. But it does take time to put together those training. So whatever you see on YouTube, you're only seeing a portion of it. Even with Southeast, he does a lot of good videos on soft washing. I've seen other YouTubers out there as well doing them, and you're not seeing the entire process. Does that make sense, Apex? Good, because we might record 5 minutes and gotta stop and record. It just, you don't get the whole picture of it.
Yeah, from the moment you pull the water hose off the trailer, like you're gonna run into a lot of different types of situations, a lot of stuff that may not be covered in any one select video.
It's too difficult for us to make an entire video like that, and but so you can check that out. Do some free demos. You're gonna be amazed once you start spraying that SH on that roof and you kind of get the idea how this works. Like when we first started, we got tons of runoff years ago. I mean, I was just wasting SH. I was burning grass and everything else. Now we might get a dribble here and there. So technique is everything, and technique is hard to teach, just by talking. Almost like you gotta see it done.
Yeah, so instead of hunting around for your videos, and this is the important thing, no matter who it is in the industry, make sure you get your videos from a reputable, credible source that knows what they're talking about. Because Joe Example on YouTube, he might tell you the wrong thing and you end up nuking someone's roof.
Right. Yeah, too much SH could cause a lot of damage. Like even those little bitty dribbles that we get over the roof line, those little bitty dribbles, the wrong percentage will strip paint off of gutters like it's paint remover. I mean, SH is a good paint remover. So I've done it before. I've had to paint the back of my house before.
All right. Okay, so we're at the 28-minute mark. We're going to get a few more questions in before we have to wrap up. So let's just go with a few of them here.
I mean, we got what on board here?
We've got 42 people on board with 38 likes. We really appreciate that, guys, for sure.
This is the Super Bowl party, the real Super Bowl party. And I got, guys, don't leave just yet. I got something I want to show you just right here below camera. I'm going to talk about that. It's a little thing I want to mention to you. So if you just hang around for that, we're going to take a couple more questions, and we're going to talk about this piece of equipment I have.
All right, so K Meyer 52172 says, a week or two ago, you warned us about getting a van. Thank you. Just took our first step towards kicking off our business and picked up an F350 and trailer.
Beautiful.
Time to build the trailer.
That's awesome. F350, that's a beast of a truck right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, the vans, like we was talking about before, they can be problematic for sure.
Yeah, that thing will pull your trailer like it's not even back there.
350, yeah, 350 pull the world around.
Okay, and we got another question. Okay, so from Unchosen1, Do you clean AC condenser coils on commercial rooftop units?
I have before. It's a low pressure application and stuff. It's good money in it. Get with somebody local in your area, maybe even a retired AC guy. And that's what I did. I remember his old man, Mr. Henry. He was an old AC guy that had been retired 20 years. He wasn't that good of a climber, but he showed me how to do them on ground level, and we started doing them on hotels and stuff all over the place. You can get a couple $100 here and there for them, but again, it gets you in with the general manager.
And hey, check this out. So Jonathan Woodruff just replied to Unchosen, and he says, unless you know how to clean AC coils, you'll damage them. I did HVAC for 6 years and can't tell you how many times I've seen damaged coils from people not knowing how to clean them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get with somebody in your area, even if it's a retired AC guy, pay him to train you how to do them, because you're not going to go in there pressure washing them for sure. Yeah, I mean, they got the cones where you can straighten them out a little bit, but man, a pressure washer just ruins them. So even a low pressure, that burst pressure will ruin them. So it is a process to it, and it'd be a little bit too much complicated to get in here right now on with all of that.
All right, we got Michael Williams here. He says, do you clean wood siding the same as vinyl siding?
No, wood siding, you want to use different chemicals, usually, an acid or something like that. You can use some SH for it, like some wood brightener, but you got to neutralize it afterwards, and then you need to let your customer know, and this is the most important, we can make it look good, low pressure application, but they're going to have to restain it or seal it after this cleaning. So make sure your customer knows that this is the next step process, and you can actually hop in there and give them a quote for it if you're familiar with it. So now you might have a $400 job just turned into a $2,500 job because you can reseal it. This is work, guys, that builds upon itself, and man, that looks good on Facebook. Before and after picture, you got this old wooden fence or whatever. Now all of a sudden it looks new. Now all of a sudden you got everybody looking in their backyard saying, hey, can I afford to get my fence done? You start getting these calls and it starts to build on itself. So, but yeah, the wood brightener is but again, there's a process to it, and but we're great money. I know a guy here locally does nothing but that, and he makes a good living doing it.
All right, and Eric T. Zen to Zun says, hey guys, question. Are you guys still giving pressure wash training?
Yes. You want to redo that chart? In person. We're going to do some in-person training later this summer. In the meantime, you can check out our training page through video training. And obviously, whoever has used our video training is going to get first dibs on open spots for in-person training, if I made sense there. So basically, we got an email list that everybody who is took our video training, they're going to be offered our first spots for in-person training when available, and we will be doing that maybe early spring, late spring, somewhere in that area. We're going to start doing a few of them.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and drop that link down in the comments for you guys, so just check that out. And yeah, okay, so we've got some more here. Williams Washing says, sorry I'm late. It's been a crazy snowstorm up here. Snow removal the last 72 hours straight.
Wow.
Back to washing. What did I miss?
hey, you still moving water either way, right? Whether you pressure washing or you're moving snow.
Yeah, that frozen water.
You can take these soft wash pumps, guys, and spray a de-icer through them. So just something you might want to look into. De-icing in front of storefronts, things like that. The dumpster enclosures, I know the reason why I was saying this, I know a guy that cleans these dumpster enclosures, and the doors get frozen up and all of that, so the residents can't go in there and dump the trash off. So a lot of the trash stays in the front of the dumpster by the doors. They frozen shut. So he takes a soft wash kit, he cleans the dumpster pads, but he de-ices it, every couple of days so they can access the dumpsters and stuff. Matter of fact, our dumpster training, guys, is on sale right now. So if y'all want to go, if you hadn't got it, go check it out and save a few dollars on it before the web team discontinues those discounts on our dumpster training. We just picked up 11 more here recently. So we starting to, we have a cycle. Sometimes I'll have a bunch of dumpster pads to clean. Sometimes I'll let a bunch of them go, or I sell them off. And Then we go down to hardly none, maybe just a few, and then there's times we'll start picking them back up. Right now, I feel with this economy, for whatever it's worth, I should pick up more dumpsters to clean because it's reoccurring, and that's what we've been doing. Matter of fact, me and Apex and Big Chris just repaired a dumpster door a couple days ago, and we're gonna be cleaning that dumpster plus about 10 more around that little vicinity. So it's kind of like the Sonics. Sometimes I'll have 8 or 10 Sonics I'm cleaning once a month, and sometimes I have 0. It just depends on where you at in your business, and so I'm gonna start grabbing some more Sonics too, because I think that might be a great idea to kind of just hedge my bets, because who knows what the economy is gonna do.
Yeah, and we've got one little question here that I've never seen this before. So
I'm scared.
Premier Power Wash, he's asking, Billy, what do you do with, okay, I'm just going to spell this because I don't even know how to say it, bitumen, bitumen striping paint. Is it used anymore?
I hadn't seen that in a long time. Right now, basically, we're using Offshore and Williams products. Pittsburgh products is another one to use. In rare events, we would use something from Lowe's or Home Depot. Of course, we go over all that in the All Pro Striping course, which they have a promotional code on that. Plug that real quick. But you got to get in touch with me personally for that promotional code, because serious guys only. Once I generate that promotional code, it's gone forever, and I only got a handful of them left. So, but yeah, that type of paint I think was mainly meant for conventional sprayers. What we use in the industry now is airless sprayers, so you compress and paint up to about 3,000 psi, whereas some other paints were designed to be atomized at a much lower pressure, around 60 psi if you're using conventional. Just a real quick lesson in sprayers, guys. Airless has a piston in it, and it compresses the paint up to about 3,000 psi. A conventional has a big pot, and it pushes air down on top of it to squeeze the paint out the bottom. So, and it's only using about 60 psi there. So that's what the difference. And there's about 12 or 13, 14 different types of paints out there. And that's why I tell guys, before you go striping a parking lot, you need to learn about this, because you can hit the disaster button really quick. You can think you're using the right paint, and then before they even mail the check out to you, it all peels up and flakes away like wet tissue paper.
Man,
and your check never comes, and you call them like, "Where's my check at?" Well, you need to come take a look at the parking lot, because it's not looking good. So, got to use the right paint out there for sure. We got one more question before I want to show them what I got here.
All right. Okay. So Robert Gomes, he says, anybody on here thinking about taking Billy's courses, do it. Billy has been extremely helpful and supportive. All right. And
appreciate that, Mr. Robert.
And our last question here, Jonathan Woodruff, he says, do you prefer strip mall dumpsters or single standing businesses?
All of the above. I got one strip mall that's got 7 dumpsters in it. We start on one end. We go all through. We do all the dumpsters in an hour and 45 minutes. Then we hit 5 guys to get something to eat, because it pays us a lot of money. I'm going to say exactly how much, just in case somebody's watching on here. But yeah, it pays us a lot of money to do 7 dumpsters. I make more money doing that than I know what to do with. And then we go hit those little single standalones. And look, those singles add up, man. You start doing them, and the next door neighbor, basically, you got these big complexes where you have, a bunch of businesses. Sometimes we have dumpsters back, like they might have a 5 guys backed up to a Starbucks, and we do both of them right there, because nobody wants their dumpster not cleaned if the other one is getting clean. Mm-hmm. And y'all just have to watch the course. I may end up giving it all away for free. Yeah. I get so passionate about them dumpsters. Like, man, go do the dumpsters. Whether you do it, if you learn it from me, or if you just figure it out on your own, do those dumpsters, man. It's like I buy like new houses and stuff off of just my dumpster money. So, go figure it out. Anyway, I want to go show y'all something right here. I hear a lot of guys always asking me, how many people we got on, by the way?
We got 41 people, 41 so likes.
41 people is going to hear this. And this would be good news for all 41 people. They always ask me, what is the best kind of pressure washer to purchase? Now, obviously, everybody says, well, the one that you can afford. And that is true, the one that you can afford, the one that you can get. I always say, get the best one that you can afford. So we can afford a $100 one. We can afford a $200 one. Those ain't too good. can you afford a $2,000 one, maybe a nice belt drive? So get the highest quality one that you can afford. You know, it might be a little uncomfortable buying it, but at least you're getting a decent machine that's going to last a season or two. But most important of all, when you're looking at these pressure washers, now what I have here is huge. You want to hold this up for them?
Absolutely.
That is an unloader. Now that's an unloader to my IGX 800. So this is a beast right here. This is a new unloader Mr. Wayne sent me out. So my point is, make sure the pressure washer you purchase has a replaceable unloader. You want to repeat that for him?
Yes, indeed. Make sure the pressure washer that you purchase has a replaceable unloader.
Guys, this is the thing that shuts you down in the middle of the night. We have these sitting around. This one's expensive. This is about $300 or $400 for this one, and it's a spare one. We got two of those machines. One unloader goes, what's the chance of both of them going down? Very rare, unless you got trash in the water. But one goes down, I can pop this one on in about 5 minutes. So make sure you got a replaceable unloader machine. Get that unloader replaced, just like the 12-volt pumps. We got an extra 12-volt pump. You have an extra unloader on the truck. Now, if you got a 4x4 machine or a 5.5, these are going to be about $100. But you need to look at that machine and make sure your unloader will come off and be replaced, because there's some machines where this is built in. The unloader goes down, the machine's dead. You're not doing anything with it unless you send it off and get a new pump and send it back for warranty. And if you don't have a warranty on it, you got to buy a whole new pump for it. So the replaceable unloader. So I wanted to leave y'all with that tip, and that's the only pressure washer I buy has a replaceable unloader, whether it's a small little hot water unit or if it's one of those beasts of a machines like we got that put out almost 15 gallons a minute of water. So think about that. And this is actually a handy little tool. So when Big Chris and Apex is messing up on a job, swing it at them. But anyway, we're about to go grab us some dinner and then go bid some parking lot striping jobs, guys. So we may be putting some of that footage on here in the next couple of days. I also want to mention Apex. How many subscribers you got now?
Oh man, let me check that real quick. I'm close to 500. I'm so close.
We're trying to get him up to 1,000 subscribers so he can go live on his mobile device. So I know y'all can do it.
I've got 467.
467. You still got a good ways to go, but we know if y'all good folks, y'all gonna go subscribe for him.
If every person who's watching this subscribed to my channel, I'd be over 500. Like,
can you drop your link in there so they can find it? That'd probably be easier. That's like getting a review. You got to send that link to the customer. They don't want to go searching for you. But yeah, if y'all can hit that subscribe button on him. He's a newbie, you know, basically kind of starting out in the pressure washing industry. So he's going to have a different look than what we've been doing the last 27 years. He's going to be making mistakes. Y'all can see kind of mistakes he's making and see his growth in the industry. And I think you might get a good little idea how tough this can be, but how rewarding it could be as well too. So.
All right.
Well, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Anybody got a quick game update on there? Have you seen anything lately?
I hadn't seen anything lately here. Nope. Nothing update on the game. Somebody want to comment real quick? Let us know what's going on with that.
I should have had my monitor running over there, but yeah. So, guys, we out of here. Remember that replaceable unloader. We have discounts on our training page. All the pressure washing stuff is discounted 25% with the promo code Billy25. Upon checkout, it'll give you a spot that says use promotional code. And if you need a discount on the All Pro Striping course, text me and I'll get that over to you. Guys, anyway, I'm Billy Davidson here with Jacob.
Yep, with Apex Pressure Washing.
Apex. We call him Apex.
Yeah.
Jacob, we call him anything you want, but don't call him late for dinner.
That's right. All right, we're going to go get back to eat. Thank y'all so much for watching.
Yes, sir. We love y'all. Y'all have a great afternoon.
See y'all next